We are back here at Hopkins High School in Lindbergh Center in Minnetonka, Minnesota for the 5th place game of the Premier Cup. This is J.C. Russo, and this is brought to you by Power Soccer Shop and the Midwest Power Soccer Association. We have the Tampa Thunder against the CNY United. For Tampa Thunder, we have Ben Carpenter in the middle, Aaron Masterson on the far side, Danny Gorman on this side with Ryan Catone in goal. For CNY United, we have Peyton Sefik on the ball now. Behind him, we have Tony Reuter. And on the far side, Drew Cunningham with Ryan Charbonneau in goal. Cross to Drew. He's going to do a 180. Straight to Peyton. Great pass. Shot on goal by Peyton Sefik. And Ryan Catone is there. No collision with the post. Shane, the referee, is going to be our official today, setting up the goalpost. Tony Rude hit it in. Peyton in the middle with Charbonneau on the far side. He looks for a gap behind Carpenter, but he blocks it off. Now Peyton trying to bring it around Carpenter. Tony Reuter in the middle. Tony Reuter and Carpenter on the ball now. And we have Charbonneau on the far side, the goalkeeper. Pass by Reuter. Danny Gorman blocks it off. It's going to be a 2-on-1 on Gorman and Carpenter. As Gorman gets in the box, Carpenter comes around and they get a little bit too close. Now Charbonneau, the goalkeeper, is playing forward here. Sefik to Charbonneau, almost tucked in behind Gorman. Charbonneau, but goes just wide. This is Peyton Sefik's first game back in action since his red card from a speed test violation. It was quite a deflating call as United worked very hard to beat ASU, and they just quit. They pulled it off 4-1, but after the game, Peyton Sefik failed the speed test, so he received a red card. The game was a forfeit, and he couldn't play the next game. So they are now in the 5th place game. Charbonneau now. Charbonneau and Carpenter. Carpenter trying to pass it back to Gorman, but Charbonneau will take it out of bounds. Gorman, a shot across, but it bounces off Carpenter and Sefik. Sefik and Carpenter. Carpenter pass back to Gorman. Gorman at Masterson. Masterson a shot off Charbonneau, but it's going to be a 20-inch violation. Sefik will be taking the set ball from United, and Gorman from the Thunder. Sefik got around Gorman easy. Pass to Drew. Sefik back to Drew. Sefik and Masterson on the ball. It's going to be another 20-inch violation. Sefik and Masterson now. Sefik bringing it around Masterson. Pass back to Tony Reuter. Sefik tried to get to the middle and went on the inside of Gorman, getting a little bit too close to Reuter there, and they called a 2-on-1. For those of you that don't know, the 2-on-1 violation is when one team double teams another on the ball, so you cannot have two from one team against one of another. If there is, then it's a turnover. Tony Reuter and Carpenter on the ball. Goes out of bounds off Carpenter. It's going to be United ball. Reuter maybe looking for a shot on goal. He goes to Sefik. Sefik takes the ball. It's going to go out of Sefik, out of bounds. Thunderball. Gorman to hit it in. Masterson in the middle. Goes to Masterson. Sefik is in the box on defense. Sefik and Gorman. Now Tampa Thunder is the only Premier Cup team here without one strike force on the team, and I believe that has a lot to do with their performance here at this cup. I heard a rumor that they are buying a strike force for every person on their squad for next year. Reuter to Sefik. Gorman intercepts, puts it on goal. Charbonnel's there. Now Masterson passes it over to Gorman. Carpenter's going to intercept and get in there. Masterson. Sefik's going to bring it around Masterson. Sefik to Reuter. Reuter bringing it up the court behind Carpenter. Good pass to Sefik. Sefik misses the ball. It was supposed to be for Reuter. Carpenter gave him a little bit of room. Now Reuter bringing it around Carpenter. Carpenter's going to bring it out of bounds. It's going to be United ball. Sefik will be kicking it in with Charbonneau on the far side. Tony Reuter in the middle. Gorman and Catone in the box. A little space behind Catone, but Payton takes a shot between Catone and Gorman, but Gorman's able to cut it off. A little jostling there between Tony Reuter and Gorman. Now Carpenter gets into the box. Payton behind Reuter. Reuter going straight sideways. Quite aggressive by Gorman. And it's going to be a goal kick. Carpenter lines up. Gorman with the ball now. Tries to put it on goal, but it's going to go wide. Tony Reuter to take the goal kick. His player's way up the court. And a little too much contact there by Payton Sefik. It's going to come back as the ball leaves the arena. Gorman here. Pass down to Carpenter. Tony Reuter playing defense. Back to Gorman. Reuter bringing it out of bounds. It's going to be Thunderball again. Still 0-0. 9 minutes into the game. We have United against Thunder. Premier Cup 5th place game. Gorman pass to Masterson. Masterson shoots it straight out of bounds. Now it's going to be United ball. Reuter to Sefik. Sefik tries to bring it around Masterson, but gets around him. Tony with it now. Gorman and Reuter. Reuter and Carpenter. Going over to Sefik. Sefik trying to save it, and he does. He does not. It's going to be Thunderball here. Gorman to hit in the Carpenter. Sefik here on Carpenter playing defense. Carpenter playing tough defense here. Reuter trying to pass down to Drew. Now trying to get to Sefik. Bring it around Carpenter. Good defense here by Carpenter. Sefik and Gorman. Out of bounds off of Gorman. Sefik will hit into Reuter. We have Cunningham on the far side. Gorman turning around and backing up a little bit past the 5-meter radius. The ball went straight to Gorman, out of bounds. Good play by Sefik. Cunningham on the far side. Sefik puts it on goal, and Tony to follow it in. It's going to bounce off the Thunder defense, but Reuter saves it. He's going to try to get it across. Almost 3 in the box there. Reuter coming across, and it's a 2-on-1 as Drew Cunningham tries to get out of the way. We have Gorman to kick it in over to Carpenter now. Cunningham looking to jump it. And he gets right around Cunningham. Sefik leading. Trying to pass it down to Cunningham, but it bounces off of Masterson. It's going to be a 2-on-1 between Masterson and Gorman. They got a little bit close. Again, the distance is 3 meters, about 10 feet that the players can be together. If they are within the 10 feet, it'll be a 2-on-1 call. .20-inch violation. We have Sefik and Gorman going at it all the way to the sideline. Gorman trying to power his way up the sideline here. Sefik calling off Reuter. He wants the ball. Sefik now bringing it on goal. Carpenter here. Good bounce. It's going to stay in. Reuter and Carpenter now. Out of bounds off Carpenter. Quite aggressive here by Reuter. Sefik here. Lined up with Charbonneau on the far side. He's going to go all the way across, but Carpenter's able to tip it and goes straight to Masterson. Masterson trying to get up, but Tony Reuter stopping it. Reuter and Carpenter again. Gorman's in the box. Very close to 3 in the box here. Carpenter did a good job to stay out of the box because Gorman was already in. Now Carpenter in the box. Tony Reuter still on the ball. Pass to Sefik. Sefik and Carpenter now. Gorman getting in the box. And good play by Carpenter to just let the ball roll out of bounds off Sefik. It's going to be Thunderball. 15 minutes into the game, it is still 0-0 here. United against Thunder in the 5th place match. Brought to you by Power Soccer Shop and the Midwest Power Soccer Association. Masterson tries to get back to Gorman, but it's too far, and Tony Reuter cuts it off. Gorman in the box now. Switching now, Carpenter in the box. Reuter and Gorman fighting on the sideline again. It's going to be Thunderball again. Great defense here by the Thunder. Gorman to Carpenter. Sefik stops it. Now Sefik and Carpenter. Sefik passes it down. It's going to be 2-on-1 between Masterson and Carpenter. Masterson was out of the play, however, he was within the 10 feet. So it was a 2-on-1 call. Payton to Charbonneau. Charbonneau a shot. Few deflections off of Carpenter, but it goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick. Reuter with the ball now. Sefik in the center. He's going to go out for a goal kick. Stay tuned. Later on, we will have the Premier Cup final and third place game. The third place game will be at 1:45 Central Time. And the final 3 p.m. Central Time, we were having the Minnesota Magic and Circle City Rollers rematch of last year's final. It should be a good one. A 9-6 win for the Magic over ASU Sun Devils, and 4-1 Circle City Rollers win over the Flyers. Very good semifinal matches. The third place match then will be against from the Sun Devils and the Flyers. Ben Carpenter dribbles it in and out of the defense, and Tony Reuter just gets back in time to cut it off, but it's going to be a 2-on-1. Sefik not too happy with the call. Sefik and Charbonneau in the box now. Gorman's going to take the kick. Carpenter on the left, Masterson on the right. Sefik cheating over a little bit. He steals it. He gets all the way out to Drew. And that was a 2-on-1 call. United's ball. Sefik to Cunningham. Cunningham moves it to Carpenter, but Sefik steals it. Now Sefik and Carpenter now on the ball. Pass out by Sefik to Reuter. Reuter now bringing him down to the side of the box. Trying to put it on goal. Gorman bringing him out. Carpenter gets into the box. Reuter with the ball, trying to get it across to Sefik, but Carpenter steals. Now Sefik trying to cut him out. A little contact there, and there's a foul. A little too much on Carpenter. It's going to be Sefik's ball. We're in extra minutes here in the first half. Sefik and Gorman here. Looks like it will go out of bounds. Gorman to hit it into Carpenter. Switching up the play. Carpenter's going to take the ball. Gorman's going down to the corner. Tony Reuter's cutting it off a little bit. It's going to go straight to Gorman. As Gorman backs up, he goes off the front of his chair, and now Carpenter and Reuter on the ball. Too much contact by Reuter. It's going to be the Thunder's ball. Very little time here in the first half. Let's see if Thunder can capitalize to take a 1-0 lead. Looks like we have some equipment issues. Danny Gorman's guard was touching his wheel. Referee Shane pushes it up, and we're good to go now. Carpenter lines up. Looks like he's going to hit it straight towards Danny. Danny tries to let it through, but it bounces off. And it is halftime. Close half here. United with most of the possession on Thunder's end. But it is still 0-0. We'll see what happens in the second half. This has been the Power Soccer Shop and Midwest Power Soccer presentation of the 5th place game of the Premier Cup. Stay tuned for the second half. We are back for the second half of Tampa Thunder and CNY United. We have Peyton Sefik out of his chair for a little bit. Milt, the Strike Force technician, working on his joystick, but it looks like he's back in action. It is still 0-0 at halftime. A lot of pressure by United at the beginning of the game, and then Thunder picked it up and was out on offense for the second half of the first half. We have Carpenter and Sefik now. Sefik turning Carpenter. Tony Reuter and Masterson. Reuter lets it for Sefik. Masterson deciding what to do. Brings it straight out Sefik. Does a good job. But then goes behind. And he hits his arm. It looks like the back of Sefik's chair hit Masterson's arm as he was turning around. We're going to have a substitution here. Looks like he'll be all right. Before every match of Power Soccer, every wheelchair is checked for bags and straps and everything, so arms and legs can't get caught in other wheelchairs to get hurt. But every once in a while, a push knob will swing around and maybe hit somebody on a turn. But it looks like he'll be all right. We have Yash Rangol coming in for Masterson. Good punch out by Tony Reuter. It's going to be Thunderball in their own zone. Let's see if they can clear it here. Gorman to hit into Carpenter. Carpenter back to Gorman. Gorman tries to get back to Carpenter, and he does. Sefik spin around. Good pass to Rangol. Rangol bringing it into the box. Carpenter trailing. Sefik and Charbonneau in the box. Carpenter trying to cross it. The shot right off Sefik's chair. Reuter pass back to Sefik, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Thunderball. Good opportunity here for them if they can capitalize.
Would you be willing to do the microphone and introduce the camera?
We have Gorman in the box. Peyton taking a far side defense here. Rangol all the way across for the Thunder. It looked like Carpenter was going to go for a rain goal, and Gorman let it through, but it was a little bit too high. Suffolk taking a quick shot on goal. It's going to bounce off Carpenter. Too much contact on Carpenter is going to be... I'm sorry, too much contact on Reuter is going to be Carpenter's ball with the Thunder. Carpenter looking for either Gorman or Rangel. It's going to Gorman. And it went out of bounds as Gorman couldn't quite get there in time. Rangel taking a substitution for number 94, Andrew Gajewski. Gorman to Carpenter. Carpenter's going to let it come down to the corner. Good spin around to keep it in bounds. And bounce off Tony Reuter. Good play by Carpenter. Gorman to hit it in. Good punch out by Charbonneau. Now Drew Cunningham pushing it down the court. Carpenter trying to cut him off. Pass back to Suffolk. Suffolk mishandles it. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be Thunderball. Wind up, and it's going to Gorman. Straight back to Carpenter. Suffolk and Carpenter on the ball now. Suffolk's going to let it go to Reuter. We almost had a tip there as the ball got a little bit wedged in between Carpenter's wheels. But Tony Reuter led off, and he was able to get back down on all four. It's been quite an aggressive game here. We're going to have another substitution. Aaron Masterson coming back in after his little injury there. And Gajewski's coming out. We now have Gorman, Carpenter, and Masterson up front for the Thunder. Carpenter tips it up towards Suffolk. Masterson gets a little bit close, and they're going to call a 2-on-1 between Carpenter and Masterson. Suffolk lining up his players. Then it goes to Reuter. Reuter back to Suffolk. Suffolk looking for Reuter again, but Carpenter's there to cut it off. Now Reuter and Carpenter battling. Carpenter does a good job to get him on the sideline. It goes to Gorman. Gorman to the hole. Payton's going to take a shot all the way down the court to Cunningham. Great pass to Cunningham to Reuter. What an awesome pass from Suffolk to Cunningham. Cunningham just snuck behind the defense and no one saw him there. Great heads up play by Suffolk. It's going to be a free kick here. A little too much contact. Straight to Charbonneau. A little bit too fast for Charbonneau to handle. It's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick. Gorman will be taking the kick with Masterson on his right and Carpenter on his left. He's lining up to go to Carpenter. Suffolk trying to jump it. It goes straight to Suffolk, and it's going to be a 20-inch violation. Again, if you're not familiar with power soccer rules, the 20-inch violation is when the power soccer ball comes up 20 inches off the floor, it is going to become a set ball. We had Gorman almost go over. It's quite humid in the gym today. The ball has been getting very sticky. So we are going to get some powder for the ball as our second player goes up on 2 wheels. Referee simply just putting some baby powder all around the balls to make it less sticky. What happens when the ball gets sticky is the wheels will stick to it and just climb up, and that's what happens when a chair is about to tip over. It's going to be United ball here on the Thunder side. Sefik passing across to Charbonneau. Charbonneau back to Sefik, but he wasn't there. He came back to the middle instead of going down the wing. A little miscommunication there. It's going to be Thunderball. Gorman hit it into Carpenter. Tony Ruler playing tough defense, and it almost goes in, but it's just wide off a rebound from Carpenter. It's going to be United's ball again, a corner kick. Ruder will be hitting it in to Sefik. Sefik taking a shot. Sefik trying to get in front of Carpenter, but he can't quite get there. Charbonneau takes a shot. Good defense by Carpenter. And great passing here by United, but Tampa Thunder is on it, the defense. Another corner kick for United. We have 10 minutes left in the game here, still 0-0. It goes behind Carpenter, in off the back of his chair. Great heads-up play by Tony Ruder. It's a 1-0 lead now for United. 10 minutes left in the game. Let's see if Thunder can come back here. Carpenter's going to go straight on goal. Charbonneau with the easy save is going to go out of bounds. Great kickoff. Very quick opportunity straight after the kickoff. We're going to have Masterson hitting it in with Gorman on the far side and Carpenter in the middle. We have Charbonneau on goal and Sefik playing defense. Ruder playing tight D on Carpenter. It's going to go straight across to Sefik. Carpenter's there to keep it in the box. It's going to be a 2-on-1. Or perhaps a charge. There was a lot of contact there from Masterson. Ruder to Sefik. Sefik gets it around Masterson. Carpenter's trying to keep it in. Goes to Gorman. Gorman now on the ball. Bring it down the sideline. Sefik recovering. Charbonneau and Gorman on the ball. Carpenter behind, wait for the balls. Masterson in front. Moving around to avoid the 2-on-1. Not sure what Gorman had planned there. He kept going through the defense for Carpenter. Sefik and Masterson on the ball. Sefik pushing up the sideline. Going all the way to the other end, and he's able to keep it in bounds. And it's a 2-on-1 on the Thunder. That was a very tight call there, as Masterson wasn't too close. He was just on the border with 10 feet. Another great opportunity here for United, as it's a free kick, very close to the box here. Sefik's trying to make a gap, and it's going to be a 20-inch violation. Not sure that's what Sefik had in mind for Ruder. Gorman and Sefik on the ball now. Bringing it around the box. Charbonneau rotating. Tony Ruder at the top now. Pass to Ruder. No goal. There were 3 in the area. Tough break there for United. as a advantage call would have allowed the goal. But it was disallowed, and United will have a free kick here. Suffolk will just take a shot, and it was no good, as it was an indirect ball, and it must touch another person's chair before it goes into the goal. It did not touch either defender, and it went straight in, and therefore it was not a goal. It was simply a goal kick. Tony to Suffolk. Suffolk back to Tony. Tony tries to get back to Suffolk, but Suffolk comes back and rams Masterson. So it's going to be Thunder's ball now. Carpenter aims for the hole. Suffolk knocks it off. Now Carpenter and Suffolk battling. United trying to add on another goal here. We have 5 minutes left in the match. Suffolk to Ruder. Ruder tries to pass it back to Suffolk, but it's a weak pass. Suffolk's going to bring it back down and reset. Here's a pass from Suffolk to Ruder. Ruder tries to get to Cunningham. Cunningham takes a shot, but Masterson's there. Now Gorman and Masterson, too close. It's going to be another United free kick, very close to the box. Suffolk passing to Charbonneau. Charbonneau takes a shot, and it bounces just off Ryan Catone's chair, still inbound. Suffolk shot just wide. Charbonneau was not quite there to get the rebound there. It was just wide of the post. Pass from Carpenter, a little bit behind Gorman. Now Ruder and Carpenter. Pass to Suffolk. Suffolk tries to get to Charbonneau, but couldn't get there. Now Suffolk and Carpenter. Carpenter trying to stay in the passing lane. Suffolk now. Pass across to Charbonneau. Great pass from Suffolk, but Charbonneau couldn't quite get anything on it. Now Ruder and Gorman on the ball. Pass to Payton. It's a shot. Good finesse shot there. 2 shots. Good saves by Catone and Carpenter. It's out of bounds for United. Tampa's going to have to clear the ball here if they're going to have any chance of scoring a goal. And it is going to be a corner kick for United. Another opportunity for United. Tony will take the kick in. Suffolk there to receive it. And he takes a shot. Carpenter. Rebound to Suffolk, and he puts it in right behind Catone. Great goal by Payton. Way to beat her for the rebound. It's 2-0 United. There are 4 minutes left in the game. We will see how much extra time there is. Tampa's really going to have to step it up to score some goals here. And we have a substitution. Catone will be coming out, the goalkeeper. And we will be putting the goalkeeper jersey on Gorman. And Gorman will be going back to goal. Catone now playing forward. We have Carpenter, Masterson, and Catone now playing forward. Carpenter to Masterson. Quick 1-2 play. Masterson and Suffolk now. Masterson and Suffolk still going to the other side of the court. Suffolk able to turn him. He's going back to the Thunder end of the court. Suffolk lining up a pass to Ruder. And that's going to be a 2-on-1 on Thunder. Two minutes left. It is 2-0. Suffolk will be kicking in the ball. Charbonneau on the far side. Looks like he's going for Charbonneau. And Charbonneau puts it in. It's now 3-0. Great pass and tip in by Charbonneau and Suffolk. It was a very close game here for about 35 minutes. There was a 1-point lead for United, and now it's a 3-0 game for United with only 1 minute left. We had another substitution. Ryan Catone came out, and Andrew Gajewski came in, number 94. Shot straight down to Peyton Suffolk. A rebound goes to Carpenter. Ruder pushing in the box. Carpenter and Gorman in the box playing defense. Suffolk getting to the center. Ruder looking for a pass out to Suffolk. Suffolk bringing it around. Very close to a 2-on-1. Is 3-0. With very little time left. Referee looks at his watch. We have 4 up here. Carpenter's back a little bit. Carpenter will be taking a rebound. Gorman and Carpenter very close there. Not a 2-on-1. Gorman trying to get back, but Masterson's cutting it off first. It's going out of bounds. Thunderball. Referee looking at his watch again. Any second now. Masterson hits it in to Carpenter. Too much contact on Tony Ruder. Thunderball here. Gorman hit it up to Carpenter. We have 4 up again. It goes out of bounds. United ball. And that is game final. United 3, Tampa Thunder 0. United will be taking the 5th place position here at the Premier Cup. But that's not over yet. We still have the 3rd place game coming up next. And then the final between Magic and Rollers at 3 o'clock Central Time. So stay tuned. It will be a good one. This has been JC Russo. This has been brought to you by Power Soccer Shop and Midwest Power Soccer Association. We will be back shortly.